I'm not anti-player. I'm very sympathetic to the many issues and problems with the game, and I'm very, very sympathetic to the many issues and problems that each individual player face. And where my platform comes in is that I want to empower you guys. ALG, my king. Hello. How's it going, gamers? Fucking chill raid. And yo, ALG, if you need to sleep, no worries. If you want to come on and chat a little bit, I'm down. Get raided, motherfucker. Okay, Flavin. Yo, what's up, dude? How's it going, everybody? Welcome in. It's your boy Josh. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hey. How are we doing?
Yeah, I think I just wanted to say that I think I came in hot.
Yeah.
The other day, and I think I just honestly, like, I think I just wanted to do a nice show of good faith to say, you know, we're chill. We've talked offline. We put it to bed. We put it behind us.
Yes.
We good.
Yeah.
Have you decided where you will go?
And yeah, I'll keep this brief too.
If not,
like,
why not find a
oh shit, sorry chat. Just because llama's whispering in my ear, sweet nothings. You know, I think a lot of people who are much more like involved with our communities kind of understand like where we are when we kind of approach a lot of these things. And behind the scenes, we definitely not only message each other but chatted. 100% from my side and 100% hopefully from ALG's side, nothing was personal. I think, you know, granted, there were a lot of button heads, right? But I think overall, our objectives and a lot of the stances that we had are going to be very, very similar. And we kind of talked about it, right? Like how definitely when we had our conversation the other day, I didn't set the table properly. At least from the things that I can control. And that's my acknowledgement as well. Because setting the table, right, allows us to have that meeting in good faith. 100%.
Yeah, and I think I kind of talked about it like after we caught up offline.
Yeah.
I kind of talked about it a little bit today on stream.
Yeah.
And I kind of just said something along the lines of I'm going to summarize it because obviously I probably talked about it for a lot longer, but like I kind of just said that, you know, I think that we are kind of on the same page, but you're just approaching it from a different perspective, and you're approaching it from a, well, what can the player do to help themselves? And I'm approaching it from a, well, we should tell Hoyoverse that this is a problem. And those things aren't exclusive. Like you can't not do the other one. Do you know what I mean?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing I pose to you. Yeah. I think, remember the argument that E was making of like, oh, if you're at work, you either like leave work or like, you know, you do something, right? Do you remember that like metaphor?
Yeah.
So like, for me, when I interpreted that, I was like, yo, and in my mind, I wish I spoke up about this earlier. The 5-minute video that you did was you gifting that power and empowering a lot of the player base to take that copy pasta to push, you know, to the devs, right? So you guys are actively pursuing something in that sense. Does that make sense, chat? So like, yeah. So like, of course, you know, the player in the game, you guys are, you know, working on your skills. You guys are working and improving your builds, but you guys also can definitely make sure that you guys voice your opinions. And that's something that I felt like with the conversation and how we set the table, it seemed like I, or potentially myself, whether it was EO or whatnot, we kind of drew the line in the sand that you couldn't do both.
Yeah, and yeah, to use EO's like analogy, it would be a case of like, well, yeah, you know, you could do a good job at work, and you can also complain to HR that your working conditions are bad. Like you can do both.
There you go.
like
100%,
it's not, it's, and I think, that's probably why we're coming at it from different angles, because it felt like
yes.
Anyway, like I'm not going to go too deep on it now. Like I have to go to bed.
I know.
But it felt like yeah, we put it to bed, and I wanted to just let your community and my community know that we're chill.
100%. Yeah. And, you know, hopefully, you know, when I talk to my community, and this is something that I want to mention to the community side, you know, when you guys participate in these kind of conversations, and hopefully ALG, you can kind of back me up on this, we want you guys to come with good faith as well, because sure, we're the creators, and we're like, you know, supposedly the, you know, the leaders in this platform that we're trying to raise, whether, you know, ALG is raising the platform to talk and consider HP inflation, whether mine is, you know, more of like the players oriented type of perspective, right? We want you guys to come in with good faith. 100%. We want to be able to come together because we both understand that we want to do what's best for us as a community and what's best for you guys. And by drawing lines in the sand and you guys picking and choosing sides, whether you guys were either berating me, whether you guys were either, you know, disagreeing harshly with ALG, that doesn't help push this entire conversation forward. Like me and ALG and EO and Kate and others who are participating in this conversation want to.
Yeah, 100. But anyway, yeah, like
anyways, I think that was a good recap of, you know, the stuff that we want to say. So
I think that'll do. Yeah, 100%. I think that'll do. Anyway, but yeah, thanks very much for your time, Josh. I'll catch you later.
Bye. All right, get some rest. Peace. Gamers, no black bud, now kiss. That's gonna be on the OnlyFans. That's gonna be on the OnlyFans chat. But really quickly, just because I understand that I wasn't a part of the Kate, who was in the conversation chat. Because I only got like, unfortunately, I was doing my own stream, so I didn't know who was there. Kate, Nix, ALG, and Saint Tontas. Okay, cool. And did you guys feel like you had a constructive conversation? You know, and here's the thing, chat. I understand that some people may have some preconceived notions about certain things, about certain creators, about certain communities. Drop that shit. Okay. Okay, expected last part. Okay, 9 out of 10. Points deducted because of gay comments. That's crazy. So you don't support Gage. That's crazy. Yeah, it was a good talk mostly. Good. It was mostly a brainstorming what the issues they see with the game, and I couldn't agree with everything but legit points. And very much here, Looney Cloud. You guys can agree with a lot of my points, I think, when it comes to the more like point levels. But when it comes to when we string together our conclusions and our statements, you know, you may not holistically agree. And I think that's perfectly valid, right? So when it came to you guys either not necessarily agreeing with all of ALG points or maybe not agreeing with all of my points, you guys are perfectly valid in that, right? But really quickly, if I may, because like, in all fairness, chat, I feel like I was the only victim because my video was dislike bombed. Maybe not by you guys specifically, but you know, I think that's the only like physical, tangible, like, you know, blood that was shed. Not that I care about numbers, but like, you know, thankfully you guys didn't, you know, do anything to ALG's channel. I didn't want that from my community to go to you guys. And I'm sure that it wasn't necessarily ALG's community that all went, because I was like looking at the spike, right? It definitely was like a hate bomb, not necessarily like a slow gradual of everybody just disliking, right? So, you know, hey, I'll live, but I want you guys to go into these conversations and participate with things in good faith. I don't think caring about numbers is bad. It's IRL leveling up. And it's essentially, it was bots, ohm. No. But Rage made a whole different group to exist. Right, chat? Like, I'm not too mad about it. But here's the thing. Please take this from me, and, you know, hopefully ALG will agree. I would never want you guys to go into someone's business and start throwing things around and messing things up. You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure ALG got a few of this, but a lot of people were disagreeing with ALG and question marking ALG in some points. And a lot of people were like, Josh, I'm unfollowing you. You're elitist, blah, 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 blah. Back then, a couple days ago, a lot of people were just slinging shit at us. It didn't matter which side you're on. You know, shit was slung at both of our sides from different angles. And it just doesn't help anything. And especially when it comes to myself and ALG, I can speak to us in particular because we had that conversation and had a chat about it in a Discord call. Like, we want to be very constructive about it. Dislike is still engagement in Algo's eyes. Yeah, but the viewership didn't go up, if that makes sense. So like, it was just dislike bombed and then people left. So the algo was like, oh, we see a video that's disliked to hell and nobody's watching the video, then we are going to not show the video, or we're not going to promote this channel. Does that make sense? You should have seen the amount of Saint hate in the stream earlier. I don't want to speak about that, because I wasn't a part of it. If I genuinely am involved with it, then maybe. And I want to speak to you, chat. Whether it's my chat, whether it's ALG's chat, if you guys want to stick around a little bit more, I do want to talk about this with you guys. A lot of the comments about drawing the line in the sand, especially when it came to the very like, oh, Josh is an elitist comment. So I would love for you guys to continue to support ALG. Please, please, please show them love. Like the shit out of their videos. If you guys are on mobile, you guys can use those hype points. I don't know. But so to me, I would love for you guys to show love to me, because I think this is something that, right, we are working through together. Right? I think it was pretty well said that you guys have very different talking points and that both are valid, but they're separate things and can be both done. I 100% agree. We engage in these conversations with the heart on our sleeves, with our thoughts on our sleeves, because we want better for you guys. We want it better for you guys. Okay? What and if you come away with one thing out of this whole conversation, and you know, even the conversations before then, I'm not anti-player, right? I'm very sympathetic to the many issues and problems with the game, and I'm very, very sympathetic to the many issues and problems that each individual player face. And where my platform comes in is that I want to empower you guys and show you guys the possibilities, while also acknowledging that you guys don't necessarily have the resources, have the time, and have the certain either account or player development, and that's not holistically your guys' fault. And in the first place, there was no fault to be blamed, with the exception of the game, because I agree with you guys, and this might be a summary of what you guys are talking about. I don't like the triple comp requirement of the DA either. I don't like where you have to have a full-on attack comp, a full-on anomaly comp, and a full-on rupture comp. It is tough for you guys, right? Objectively, it is tough because the scores are lower because anomaly is harder to get, and the buffs are much more catered towards the playstyle that they want you to do, that not everybody is necessarily ready for, and then thus affects your guys' outlook on the game. You guys are 100% valid. As Saint puts in the discussion, there's a wolf coming to eat our sheep. One answer is grab a gun, the other is build a fence. Both are valid. You know what? I really like that, Lament. There's multiple ways to protect or to, you know, achieve a certain thing. And I would love for you guys to join ALG's streams. I would love for you guys to join Kate's streams. I'd love for you guys to join my streams, because I do DA runs too. I literally just did a DA run who could barely 6-star, and we just did a 9-star with Annabelle. Right? Because I want to empower you guys and show you guys the possibilities. Or if your account isn't ready yet, we can then work together to help empower you to, you know, show you the different paths, right, towards success for your account. Because there's stuff that we can definitely control in terms of, you know, the player aspect of it. Yet, I would love for you guys to continue to voice your opinions. And I 100% endorse ALG's copy pasta, every single word. And I felt like that was lost in the sauce because we were butting heads, you know, a couple days ago, right? And I feel like you guys are like, oh, okay, yeah, right? Not to say that you guys are wrong for disliking me, wrong for having a misinterpretation. I'm not blaming you guys, right? But it is the accountability on me to set the table, and it is accountability on me to not be, you know, and I try not to be, but, you know, obviously it came out differently. I can't speak for you, but probably EO also came out quite disingenuous, and, you know, a lot of you guys say condescending, right? But it is my job to represent myself and be a good steward of, you know, myself as a person, myself as a content creator, and myself as a representative of the game. Influencer. I know that's weird to say, but as an influence to you guys, as ALG is an influence to you guys, as Kate is an influence to you guys, right? So, you know, hopefully a lot of the stuff that we were talking about earlier, right? Or you guys were talking about earlier, and, you know, that we get to talk about here now, we want to spread love. And sometimes when we butt heads, it's hard to do that. It's also super important to add to the conversation from different angles. I agree. And the way I set up the table, and, you know, and in an acknowledgement of, you know, ALG's apology for coming in a little bit hot, the way we approached the conversation initially, we weren't able to even open up the fence to talk. Influencers is a funny term. Oh, 100%. But that's what we are, right? We're able to influence you guys. We're able to influence your conversations, right? And whether it's influence to, you know, ask you to buy gamer subs, it's also to influence you guys in a positive way, to give you guys a more positive outlook, right? To give you guys the tools in order to navigate either the game and maybe even life. You know, I don't want to get too introspective with it. That is the power that we ourselves with this platform have for you guys. I'm very grateful that the people who are listening now are very sympathetic to my situation and where, you know, where I was being attacked. I appreciate it. And then also sympathetic to ALG's situation. And I don't like it if it's coming from my community, and I don't like it if it's coming from ALG's community, and I don't like it if it's coming from any external source, that you guys, or that certain folk are trying to provoke things or push certain narratives, draw lines in the sand. That's not what I wanted. And at the end of the day, when we talked it out, that's not what ALG wanted. So